All right, welcome everybody to the host, Coach Rick, on SMB Podcast. We have an MLB edition. Today we have three guests on here, the three co-hosts, where we talk baseball. They're pretty much the faces you're going to see on the screen. Today I have Yankee Joe, of course a Yankee fan. Have none other than Rich Pick, who knows a lot about sports, but today he's going to talk Mets. And of course, also the wizard, Ed Sage, who knows a lot of sports, but he's also a Met fan. So we got three guys on here, two Yankees, two Mets. It's going to be all about New York baseball and the upcoming spring season, spring training, any acquisitions, any trades, any pickups, and any opinions everyone has here. All right, so we're going to start off with Yankee Joe. Tell us anything you know about the upcoming season and any moves the Yankees have made and possibly any trades.
Well, so far, really, it's been for a lot of Yankee fans. They're really tense and really kind of upset right now because while it seemed like almost all the other teams in MLB made moves, Yankees only made one move to their roster from last year, and that's adding Ryan Weathers from the Marlins. Other than that, 24 of the 26 players who were on the 26-man roster when we got eliminated against the Blue Jays are back. And so everyone's saying the Yankees are just running it back with the exact same team that wasn't good enough to get past the Blue Jays. And this team really had high expectations to not only get to the World Series last year, but win, especially after the way we got embarrassed against the Dodgers in 2024. And their whole offseason really centered around first a qualifying offer to Trent Grisham. He had about 10, 15 days to either accept it or decline it. And by accepting it, we're bound to him for the year, at least until June. We can't trade him. Like if he's playing bad, we can't trade him until June. I think it's like the middle of June. So that locks him as our center fielder. And the next question was, do we re-sign Cody Bellinger? He was one of the hottest players out there on the market. His agent, Scott Burrows, is the toughest one out there. And if the team thinks the player's only worth 5 years, Burrows is going to want 7. And it was a long battle. And he didn't re-sign until January, I think the middle of January. So he's finally back in the fold. He's our left fielder, and that kind of hamstrings Jason Dominguez and Spencer Jones, our next two upcoming really great players. And so far for Dominguez, it hasn't materialized. Jones hasn't played in the majors yet, and the team wants to see him, but we also want to win this year. And they brought back Paul Goldschmidt to back up Ben Rice at first base. They're still going with Wells at catcher, and even with the pitching, we're still waiting for. Our motto is just get through April, because Rodon he had bone chips removed from his shoulder in October, right after we got eliminated, so he won't be ready until May. So they're saying, okay, just hang in there until he gets back. And then they're saying, okay, hang in there until Garrett Cole comes back, because he missed the entire year last year with Tommy John surgery. And Brian Cashman has taken a really big gamble because he made 7 moves at last year's deadline, with, of course, last year in mind to improve, but also saying that they'll help us this year. He picked up Camilo Duvall from the Giants. He struggled at first, but then he seemed to gain his footing a little bit. And we got Jake Bird from the Rockies, who was absolutely horrible. He never even wore the Yankee pinstripes. We traded for him the day of the trade deadline, and then we flew to Miami right after that, and I had the mispleasure of seeing him in Miami pitch horrible. He pitched 2 games in Texas, which I didn't go to, thank God, but then after that they sent him to the minors. So, right now it's February, everybody's throwing good, everybody's hitting good, but still a lot of, if they're not going to win this year, then when? And I feel like I've been saying that for the last 10 years now. So.
All right.
Well, it looks like the Yankees might go bottom feeding, right?
You're right, but the pitching staff is suspect, and I don't see them making any moves this year. Cashman, I don't know, sitting on his ass, and I don't know what's going to happen. So, I mean, as a Yankee fan, we've seen this before. We'll see it again. They're going to be good enough just to win games, maybe make a wild card, and then shit the bed again. So, I mean, thank you for that update on the Yankees. I agree with you. Pitching staff is suspect. Only have the same team basically with maybe 1 or 2 acquisition in pitching. They need a lot of help. Let's see what happens. Let's move over to the Mets. We have Rich Pick. He's been on a podcast with me before with the Knicks, but today we're talking Mets. He is a Met fan. What did you hear? You're down in Florida, as people don't know. He lives in Florida now, so he's has his ear to the ground, I guess. So what do you got, Rich?
Hey, it's been a very tumultuous offseason. I mean, as a fan, I would have liked to have seen Pete Alonso, like David Wright, start and end his career as a Met. I do understand the dynamics of it and about running back the same team. David Stearns wanted to break down the team after 24, but they had a great run, so he had to run it back for 25. And I mean, he's a smart guy. I don't necessarily like the words he uses, to be politically correct, talking about run prevention when it was the pitching. I mean, Alonso, I could live with his defense at first base. And I did a little math about Nimmo, Alonso, and McNeil out. I was about 75 home runs or so that went out the door, but they took four players in Polanco, Bichette, Robert Jr. in center, and Simeon. They probably maybe 10 runs off with the four guys they took in. But these guys are more consistent hitters where, say Alonso and Nimmo could be streaky, going to these cold spells. So it wasn't Stearns' team. He wanted to do this in 24 and going into 25, but they just had a good season, 2 games from the World Series. So he had to run back the same team in 25, and the pitching collapsed by the end of May, and the rest was history. So as a fan, going to miss Alonso, but it's going to be interesting to have, 4 shortstops in the infield. And now Lindor's out, and they're saying he'll be back for opening day with a hamate bone injury in his hand. It's going to be interesting. Big difference between the Mets and the Yankees. The Yankees, I think, have superior pitching to the Mets. The Mets don't make these long-term commitments to anybody, try to get guys off the trash heap and, rejuvenate their careers like they did a couple of years ago with Quintana, and a couple other guys. And Minaya did not have a good season last year, got hurt early, and then that was it. So let's see if we can get more innings out of these starting pitchers. I think the offense will be okay. It's going to be a very different look and feel strange at first, seeing that 3 long-time, position players gone and Diaz. But I think, honestly, even if the Mets had offered more money, I think Diaz just wanted to go to a champion. Warmer weather in California. Yeah,
he was gone.
He wasn't coming back. I mean, they were $3 million shy.
I agree with
69 versus $66 million. He never even went back to the Mets to say, "Hey, this is what my offer was."
Yeah, the Mets didn't even count it. They didn't even.
Well, all right, Eddie, he didn't give him a chance to count. Didn't even give him a chance.
No, he didn't give him a chance. That's what I meant to say. Yeah, he didn't give him a chance.
He wanted to play for the Dodgers. He wanted to go to the warmer weather. So it's going to be.
We all agree on that.
I mean, I might go to a couple. A good ride from Port St. Lucie, but I might go to a couple of spring training games this year and get a look at these new guys and see how they go. I watch about 140 to 150 games a year, so I had a good look at them the past couple of seasons.
Whereabouts are you now?
Pardon?
Whereabouts in Florida are you?
I'm west of Orlando in a place called Paramount.
Because I was going to say, when I lived in Florida, there's the only thing I miss about Florida this time of year. I was there for 22 years. When I first moved there, we were in Hollywood, 20 minutes from Fort Lauderdale. And I finally got to meet Don Mattingly. I got to watch. I saw Mattingly with this really tall, skinny kid on one of the backfields, and they were standing, then they just started sprinting like crazy. It was like 1:30 in the afternoon. Nobody was there. When Derek Jeter retired, he told a story of how Mattingly said, "Let's run it in. You never know who's watching." Maybe I was there that day. Wow. Maybe that was Jeter. I don't know. I knew of Jeter, but I didn't know him at the time. I might have seen Pettit and Williams and Rivera before they were who they were. And so even after they moved to Tampa, I would take the 4-hour drive or the short plane right up there. And that was the best time for me, just this time, just to watch the workouts, not even the games. I would go to a game in Port St. Lucie and Tampa in March after that, but yeah, this was really the best time. So you really get a gauge of the players. You see how they mesh together, and it's going to be interesting for the Mets because when you say run prevention, I thought the same thing. Then you put Polanco at first base, and then you're going to put Bichette at third base. So, yeah, I question that. And then you're putting Soto, well, I call him Benedict Soto or a bunch of other things, but you're going to put him in left field.
Yeah, I think he's better off in right because he's not a very good fielder at all. I mean,
no.
It's his back.
Well, he's gonna be playing the World Baseball Classic at left field.
That's another thing I hate. That worst. Oh my God.
Oh, Eddie, let's bring you in on this.
Yeah. Because of Tatis, he's gonna.
Well, let's bring Eddie on this because we talked about this. Go ahead, Ed. The floor is yours.
Because
Go ahead.
Tatis, he's gonna be playing the right field in the Baseball Classic, and that's why he's moving to left field. That'll give him some reps. I think they're really high on Bench. That's why they're looking to move him to right field and Roberts in center. But I was thinking about what Richie said, and he had good points about with the Mets. The Mets lost a couple of homegrown players in Nimmo and Alonso. As a Met fan, my favorite Met player was Pete Alonso. Going to miss, and I don't know how we're going to replace 45 homers. But I also believe that if you look at like Bichette and Polanco, they're going to get hit more for average, and they hit about 25 to 30 homers in that range. And Polanco has been a good bat in the World Series. Remember this past playoffs? Not the World Series, in the playoffs. He did good against the Tigers, and he hit the game-winning homer. Do you remember that? But overall, Lindor out. Hopefully he gets back before opening season. Bichette's going to be a work in progress at third base, but I think he'll handle it because he did switch from short to second last year. And let's not forget how great he did. He came back from the injury, and look what he did against Ohtani. He went deep on him. So I think that I really like the pickup of Bichette. But overall, I still think the Mets, maybe, we failed to mention about Peralta. He's an ace. The Mets got in the trade for the Milwaukee Brewers. He's going to lead the staff. He eats innings. He pitches about 115 to 130 innings a year. Only question mark, in my opinion, is Holmes. Being that he was in the bullpen. Yeah. And then he came to start last year. We'll see, maybe he's stronger this year. But I would have to say the biggest going into the 2026 season, I'd say Devin Williams, the closer of the Mets. Yeah, he's laughing because he's from the Yankees, and he blew a whole bunch of games there.
We're going to see. Pitching is still, like I said earlier, that the Yankees pitching is superior to the Mets. And McClain, listen, he had 7 major league starts. There are a lot of guys that come up and had that, call it rookie luck. I'd like it to be the real thing. We're going to find out. But it was only 7 or 8 starts. He looked good, but guys have now looked at the video and, adjust to him. The question mark is going to be Peterson, Senga. I'm not a big Senga fan. Guys can lay off his ghost fork. He's got to pitch in the zone, and he's not overpowering. So I personally, he had that success his first season. He looked good at the beginning of last year before he got hurt. That's the other thing. He's injury prone. And everything's going to be perfect with that guy. A lot of stuff like got to be just so. Yep. So once you get past Peralta, possibly McClain, like you said, more innings out of Holmes, then you're looking at Peterson, Senga, and whatever else you got. So those 3 guys are real question marks. Yeah. So the pitching is going to be. I think the offense is going to be probably more consistent. I'm concerned about the pitching. Not so worried about the bullpen. I mean, I liked it. They're getting Mentor back, who went down early last year, who was with Atlanta, a good lefty reliever. And Brooks Rowley came back from injury, pitched well last year. Did Reed Garrett still on the team, if I'm not mistaken?
No, Garrett's out for the year.
Garrett's out?
Tommy John surgery.
Oh, I didn't hear that. I did not hear that.
Yeah, he got Tommy John surgery, and I would say it again, the question mark, in my opinion, I like what you said about Minter. He got hurt early in the year. He's a great lefty, situational pitcher. Great. He can get righties and lefties out. I believe righties hit about 210 off him. Lefties 170. So there you go with that. And I'm a Brooks Riley fan. I love Brooks Riley. He did pitch good last. And one last thing I want to say also is that with the Mets, with Senga, like you said, he's always hurt. If he can maybe stay injury free, He's not a bad pitcher. If you look at his ERA, he's about what, 170 to 250 when he's healthy.
You got to put a caveat on that. He reminds me a lot of Johnny Franco back in the day. Franco used to like the bottom of the zone. If he wasn't getting the calls, now they're going to have the strike calling, or you could challenge pitches.
Yeah.
Right.
Franco used to like to nip the bottom of the zone, and he was hittable in the zone. The same thing with Singer. That ghost fork is very deceiving, but if they can be patient and lay off of it, he's in trouble. And then he's behind, and then it's all in his head because everything's got to be just perfect with that guy. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not the biggest Singer fan. Let's see if he wants to be here. He said it. So let's see.
What about Peterson? He's a question mark. His second half, he collapsed. He went.
Who's that?
Peterson.
Yeah, I mean, these innings, these guys, I mean, Holmes, Peterson, they were dead, in September.
Manaea coming off an injury, right? Because you have to see if he's going to come healthy back again. Too many question marks.
He had his best year, his first year at the Mets. That's why they took him back, and then he got hurt. I mean, let's see so the pitching is a question mark. I'm not so worried about the offense. I think other than that one corner outfield position, I think that this whole Carson Bench thing, he struggled in AAA. He went through the farm system. When he got to AAA, he struggled. So you're going to give him every chance to make the team, but they may have a stopgap. What's Tyrone Taylor?
He's a center fielder.
He may be, he's a good fourth outfielder, but he may be the corner outfielder while Benj gets some seasoning down in AAA.
Well,
so
I hope it's not Melendez.
No.
Well, what do you guys think about Holmes? I mean, Clay Holmes, I think he should have just left him in the bullpen. He wants to be a starter.
No, he made a good transition. I'm sorry to talk over you, but no, it was a very good transition. The problem is length. He's giving you 5 quality instead of 6 or 7 quality.
That's the thing.
Right.
And so what did he pitch? About 140, 150 innings?
Yeah, he pitched the most of his career.
Yeah, so let's see if he can pick up on that and also get into the 6th inning more often. I mean, back in the day, you expected 7 innings out of a guy.
7, 8, 9 innings.
7, 8, occasionally 8, complete game. Today's game, you're lucky if you get 6, especially with the Mets. The Mets that's what killed their bullpen. But so pitching
with the Yankees
is a big question.
Yeah, with the Yankees, he was a middle reliever, so he kind of like was the club say closer, but he was a middle reliever as he started off with, moved into closer position, and he was doing pretty good. I mean, I don't know why he even left the Yankees. I guess it's all about money. It's always about money, but I guess he didn't have to travel too far going to the Mets. But you guys both think that he's better as a starter?
Yeah,
I like him as a starter. I just need more innings out of him.
All right, fair enough.
Go further in the game.
I think with a year underneath his belt, he's gonna have the stamina going into maybe hopefully 6, 7 innings, maybe hopefully.
Right.
I want to ask Rich one thing, Rich.
What
do you think about? What do you think about these 2 former Yankees coming to the bullpen? They're kind of question marks.
I can't worry about it until it happens. Now, listen, Diaz, he had 2 good seasons with the Mets. He didn't have a lot of opportunities last year. We had like 28 saves because they actually, I think in history, they went down in the 8th inning. They never won a game. So how many save opportunities did he even have last year? So let's see. He's going to the baseball classic. Let's see if he hurts himself again.
Yeah.
For leaving us. But wish him well out in LA until they play the Mets.
I still think the Mets should have up as far as the bullpen. I'm still not feeling confident as a Met fan. Offensively, I agree with you. Yes, starting, they could get by with starting.
The back end of the bullpen, I think. I didn't know about Garrett, but Rowley, Minter, Brazaban is okay.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. He's got
There's
potential.
a couple of okay guys in middle relief.
The 2 Yankee guys is what I'm worried about. The 2 Yankee guys.
Well, you took our closer.
Yeah.
So he took our closer.
Listen,
have him, keep him. I don't care. I don't want.
I love Williams.
Ever since he gave that home run to Alonso, he hasn't been the same.
This picture I was showing before, I don't know if you guys can see it, but that's me and Devin I met him on photo day.
Pick that up. Pick it up. Can't see. There you go.
Oh, there you go.
Cool.
I met him on photo day, and we go in, me and my friends, through the Hard Rock Cafe, and a lot of players walk in through there. So after a while, you get to see him. You make eye contact with him. So I asked him, I'm like, hey, I see you at Hard Rock every time. He's like, oh, yeah. I'm like, would you mind signing this next time I see you? He's like, sure. He signed it. And just a quick hello, how you doing? It was only on usually Saturday and Sundays I would see him. I didn't go to that many weeknight games. I did like maybe once every homestand, but I'd work my full day. So I wouldn't get there till about like 5:45, maybe 6:15. So by that time it was too late. But all the times I did see him, he was so nice and so friendly. So on a personal level, you know, I'm rooting for him. I want to see him do good. I did say to him, look, I want you to stay here. I really don't want you to leave. So he honored that wish, but he, you know, so, but I think having a good year under his belt, even though it was the Yankees versus the Mets, it's still New York. It's still the pressure. It's still 20 or 30 reporters at your locker versus 1 or 2 in Milwaukee. So I think he's used to that, and I think he'll be okay. And Weaver, I was ready for him to go. I mean, he was like a flash in the pan. He was really good in 2024 playoffs. He helped us get to the World Series as much as anybody. But then he just seemed to, I don't know, his quirkiness.
He lost it.
I'm sorry?
No, he lost it. He was,
and I don't even know if, well, yeah, I was just joking, but I was going to say, I don't even know if he came back to New York with us after he pitched in Toronto in the DS, but he was there. I saw him, but
this is part of the David Stearns reclamation projects, you know, with the pitching. They want to give out the big long-term contracts. So take guys from new city or new stadium, in this case, with 2 Yankees, you know.
And Williams is a Milwaukee guy. Peralta's a Milwaukee guy. You know, Stearns likes his guys. And he really
National Leaguers.
Yeah.
Well, no, yeah, but Brewers.
Yes. And really, you know, when a new president /GM comes in, he wants to remake the team right away. And not that he was hoping for the 2024 team to fail, but he was not expecting them, especially in May when they were like at their lowest. Nobody was expecting them to get to Game 6 of the championship series. And that changed the vision, at least for last year. So, and it's a shame because
what he did this offseason, he wanted to do last offseason, but they had that magical run. So
because he's feeling that pressure too.
Now this is his team, and you know, yes, it's going to be very strange with Alonso, Nimmo, McNeil gone, and Diaz as well. But it's got his stamp on it now, so it's all on him. The other thing is, and that's to Coach Rick over there about in the last podcast we did about long-term commitments to Soto and Lindor. There's a lot of money piled up. So now he's a lot more flexible. You know, getting rid of Nimmo, he had another 4 or 5 years where you only got Simeon for 3. You know, so it's more money, you know, average annual, but shorter term. So there's flexibility to change with players. And he's just stuck with Soto and Lindor for a long time.
Well, you know what?
What about Polanco? Polanco's got like 3 years left.
Yeah, but that's it. Most of your guys max are 3 years.
But here's what I'm thinking as a Met fan. Why would you make a trade for Polanco when you could have signed Alonso for 3 years? Alonso's younger than him. Than Polanco.
I think he wanted him out. I think he wanted to change the chemistry of the clubhouse. Alonso seemed a good guy. You know, we don't know what goes on behind the scenes. I know McNeil had issues in more than one fight with Lindor. See him going. Now think about it. Nimmo's a Midwestern guy. Alonso's a Florida guy. Maybe they wanted out of the city and you know, raise a family somewhere else rather than New York because they're not New York born and raised.
Yeah, you know, Alonso.
Yeah,
the first offer Alonso got from the Orioles, he just left, and the Mets weren't even going to counter on getting him back. No way. And Nimmo, I don't know, something happens, and again, we're fans. We wouldn't know what goes on behind the scenes. I think something happened with Nimmo as well. They're saying something about politics, what I heard.
That's what I think.
Yeah, right? And
I think that these guys, you know, didn't necessarily, not New York City or not the team itself, with the exception of McNeil and Lindor. It's just that maybe they're married, young, want to have families. Maybe they didn't want to raise them in New York under the current circumstances.
So technically, that's 3 homegrown Mets, right? We got Nimmo, McNeil, and Alonso.
Yep.
All gone. And again, they weren't Stearns' guys. He wanted to change the face of the team. And there's a saying, the definition of insanity is to do the same thing over and expect a different outcome. Well, they ran it back last year because of that success in 24. It blew up on him. I could have told you that the pitching was shaky before the season even started, and it held up until the end of May, and then one single went down. Minter went down early. Canning went down for the season. So I saw it was like writing on the wall. So now I'm surprised he did this overhaul that quickly. I really am. Yeah, and you're going to need, now you have this glut in the infield. I mean, Vientos, he had that good rookie season with the 27 home runs. Couldn't hit the bars last year, Still hit 17 with, a little over 100 games. So you're expecting something better out of him, if nothing to prove himself. 80 came along in the second half. So there's going to be enough time for guys to rest, where a guy like Alonso wanted to play every day, and he didn't want to DH, wanted to be in the field. They're saying, he's not going to age well. I think that was all baloney. I just think they wanted to get rid of that big contract that they were going to have to pay him and spread it around shorter-term contracts with other guys who hit less home runs, better for average and on base, with the exception of last year for Alonso, really a good year.
Well,
we'll see.
You're right about that.
I was going to say,
Joe, go ahead. Yeah.
There was one thing about Alonso about 2 years ago at the All-Star game, and it's become such a showcase now that I really just watch the game itself. I don't care for home run derby anymore or anything, so I know all the rules about it. But apparently, he was invited to go to home run derby, and he made a comment. He said, "I'm only going to go if I'm picked for the game." And I'm like, okay, that doesn't really sit well with me. If I was a Met fan, so that's one thing that maybe could have started the wheels in motion, maybe could have pushed it over the edge. And then with Soto, there's one interesting thing. Yep. His contract, after 5 years, the Mets could say, okay, look, we have a buyout. You can go ahead and you can leave. So they could hopefully win a World Series in a year or two and then cut their losses and let him go. He'll be a free agent again at 31. Or they could just keep him, but then they have to add $5 million for every year, I think, for the next 10 years. But they're kind of in the driver's seat. So it's not completely.
Is it an opt-out or a buyout? I mean, is it a player?
I believe it's a team opt-out. I believe they have the leverage.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but his mom may not be too happy about that, though, because she has her clothing line and everything, and then all those 22 seats that he has, that might be a problem.
But what about, it doesn't have to be 35 to 38% Hispanics on the team as well? That's one of the clauses, too.
Right?
It's in there.
It reminds me a little bit of the Omar Minaya days when it was the Latin club, They were all Latino.
Yeah,
remember
he's
that.
asking too much for it.
Give me the best players, regardless of what nationality they are. I'd like to see the melting pot.
He asked a lot of things.
He took a lot of flack for that,
family members, too many things going on with that. He's such a prima donna.
I like I said.
Say it again. I'm sorry, you broke up.
Steve, I mean, no, we're not frozen. We're talking.
Looks like they froze up a little bit.
Oh, no,
Rich,
you're frozen?
My frozen.
Okay, go ahead. I'm gonna look glitchy.
Yeah, so me and Richie, I guess we agree as Met fans that the biggest thing is going to come out of the starting rotation. Hitting wise, like I said, I think they got a little better as far as OPS and on base and more situational hitting as far as like Bo Bichette. He's going to hit about 25, 30 homers. He's capable of hitting 30. But his average is he's a great hitter. He's a great contact hitter. He's great with runs in scoring position.
Right.
Alonso was more like all or none, right?
Yeah. Hey, listen, McNeil was a batting champion. He was a good clutch, spread the ball around the field. But again, I watch a lot of games, and he pulled everything. They were giving him the left side of the diamond. They were giving him everything from second base over, and he had to pull everything. Even though there's no more shift, that the third baseman was almost all the way to the second base position. And that whole side of the field was open, and he would not put the ball that direction.
I don't know why more guys don't bunt down third base when they give you that whole big shift.
Yeah.
Just bunt down third. McNeil, he's trying to get home run happy. He's trying to pull everything.
Yes.
And hit
Everything was yanking it to right, yanking it to left field.
Yeah.
And well, they're all gone. So we're going to see what this new look, team in a matter of about 5 or 6 weeks.
Yeah. There we go.
Give me 1 second.
For both of our teams, it's going to be exciting. I mean, it's
a little glitch in there. Well, it's going to be a strange season, I think. I mean, the Mets have their pitching problems. Yankees, I think, have some pitching problems, but there's nothing new, nothing exciting. It's the same old type thing. And the only team that looks like that's making any waves are the Dodgers. The Dodgers know how to make. They're great businessmen there in LA, man. With the Ohtani's contract, it reminds me of what's his name, Bonilla's contract, where you're deferring a lot of money into the back end years. It's just amazing what the Dodgers are doing. They're pretty much getting a playbook from the NFL, learning how to allocate money and signing bonuses and deferring money. So that's a little interesting. Not everyone can do that, and not everyone is doing that right now, as far as the baseball team.
Well, let's see at the end of the season when collective bargaining rolls around. A lot of teams are going to be stuck where they are, depending on what the new collective bargaining agreement is.
So. Yeah, especially.
We even see if we even have baseball next year. 2027 it might not even be a season. So.
Yeah,
hey,
right.
You could spend all the money in the world.
I'm not happy with that.
Won the World Series 2 years in a row, but okay, looking for a three-peat. I'd like to bet against them. They are the odds-on favorite.
Yeah.
But just because you've got the best
I still
team,
think they could win it again.
It out there and you added, they added on, with what's his name, Tucker going there, Diaz going there. They just added on. I don't know. We'll see.
That was insane when Tucker went there. That was just like.
What do you think about the offseason, Joe? Yeah, Yankee Joe. What do you think? I have a question. What do you think about the? What are the needs? What do you think the Yankees are going to go after? Who are they going to try to acquire? What they need? What are the Yankees' needs now for this season that they didn't do already? Elaborate on that a little bit.
I'm thinking just a bullpen, really, because like we mentioned before, with Weaver and Williams going, there's probably about 3 spots, because usually the bullpens have about 8 spots. So we got about probably 2 to 3 spots, for middle relief. Because right now we're going to be going with health, as long as everybody's healthy. You got Derek Bednar as your closer, and you got Duvall. You got they're going to look at Jake Bird, who I mentioned before, and then after that you're going to have Paul Blackburn, the guy that we got from the Mets. They're counting on him. They're really going to look at the bullpen. They re-signed Ryan Yarborough, so I really don't think they're going to. I think they're just going to go with what they have. I think they're going to say we don't have any needs right now unless someone, God forbid, gets hurt in spring training and or the baseball classic. And I think they're pretty much going to do what they did last year and just wing it until the trade deadline. They're going to go with what they have. They're going to reassess at the deadline and say, is this good enough? They got Ben Rice as their first baseman with Goldschmidt as the backup. You might need a backup catcher because you can't rely on Rice to be your everyday backup catcher. Yeah. And if you keep J.C. Escara, then you got 3 left-handed catchers. And Cashman even said at the during the winter meetings we're 2 left-handed. So is there another catcher out there? I mean, you'll see as players, unfortunately, players do get hurt in spring training. Players get cut 3 or 4 weeks in. So if there's a need then, but right now I think they're content.
My questions with the Yankees are.
I totally agree with that.
How many games you get out of Stanton, and then Volpe?
Stanton right now, there hasn't been, knock on wood, any complaints. Remember last year he came into camp, he was like a bystander. He was there maybe twice, and he was always in New York getting second opinions and third opinions and PRP shots for both of his elbows. And he didn't come back till mid-June, but then he was great. So,
what about Volpe? Volpe's out for
Volpe, he's not. He's on the bubble too. He's not due back until hopefully May. Hopefully, but he had that surgery, and I'm so upset about that. I was at that game actually, and I was livid when I saw that Boone left him in the game because about not even a week before Jazz got hurt on like a check swing in Baltimore. Stayed in the game, got to first base. You could see he was wincing a little bit. But he's a gamer. He's not going to come out. None of these players are. And I don't blame him.
Well, with Volpe, I'm not happy with him. So.
No, me neither. He has to. So there's going to be pressure on him too because he's going to have to come back at 100%. He's going to have to hit the ground running as soon as he comes back because this is going to be his last year.
Who's his replacement?
Jose Caballero. We got him at the trade deadline from Tampa. Yeah, from the Rays.
He's good.
I like him.
Yeah, he led the majors with stolen bases. He had 44 in 2024. He had 49 last year. So he's going to run, and that's going to change the dynamic of our game too because we're more of a station-to-station team. We're not much, running. But now he's going to hopefully help change that a little bit. And you know what? If he outplays Volpe when Volpe comes back, hey, then Volpe's going to be on the bench.
He will. I believe he will. I mean, I like it better with him, as a shortstop. But Volpe, he's a project that I think is over and done with. I don't like him. It's too off and on. Every once in a while, it gives you that great hit or maybe that little spark home run. Reminds you of Bucky Dent a little bit. But I'm not happy with Volpe. I think he's. They should just go in a different direction with him. To me, I can leave him. I'm not happy with him.
And then another
as far as pitching's concerned, let's just hope when everybody's healthy, starting pitching, Yankees have the starting pitching, and that'll carry through the season. But who knows?
Who's your opening day rotation?
Right now, fingers crossed, it's going to be Fried, Schlittler, but he hasn't thrown off a mound in a couple weeks because he has a little tweak in his back and a little strain with his lat.
Well, and Weathers.
I'm sorry?
Weathers too, right?
Yeah.
That's a starter.
Yeah, because the last time a pitcher had something with his lat, everybody remembers Severino? So, fingers crossed, but at the moment, it's Fried, Schlittler, Luis Heel coming off, he did not have a full season last year. Will Warren, he threw the most innings of his career last year. Then after that is Weathers. So they're a little bit Weathers is a little bit of a reclamation project, a lot of potential. Same thing with Warren. Heel, you're holding your breath, and now with Schlittler, you're holding your breath. So
what?
Depending on how you do,
you're expecting Cole and Rodon back in May, no?
And for years we've been doing that. It's always okay as long as this guy's okay, as long as that guy's okay, and that's not acceptable.
Yeah, but that's coming off. You're right.
So.
Right. And now, come on, guys coming off injuries. That's kind of
the young guy Schlittler. I like
him a lot out of the Yankees.
And now, what about Jason Dominguez? Have they totally ruined him? I mean, he missed 2020. He signed when he was 16. So right away, he was like the next Golden Boy, the next Mickey Mantle, and he struggled. He progressed pretty good through the minors. He lost all of 2020 because of COVID, and then he rose up 2020, 21, 22. 2023, a lot of pressure on him. We're out of the pennant race. First major league swing off Verlander home run. And then an inning later, I think he homered again. He had 4 homers in his first 8 games, and then he needed Tommy John surgery. And so he slow plays it. 2024 hurts his lat. Is his time expiring? He's only 25, but still, 23. But still, it's going to be make or break for him soon. Cashman acknowledged the other day, he's like, he has to play every day.
Yeah.
Unless Judge, Bellinger, or Grisham gets hurt. Right. Or Rice gets hurt, and you put Bellinger at first. The only place Dominguez is going to play every day is going to be in the minors.
Left field. Left field,
left fielder. He's a left fielder, right?
Yeah, because they said he doesn't project well as a center fielder.
He's a liability out there.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. And now, to your point before about Stanton, if Stanton gets hurt, God forbid if he gets hurt, okay, then there's your DH. You juggle the DH position, then Dominguez makes the team. So in that regard, it could help, but you don't want anyone, especially Stanton. We need Stanton's bat in there.
Yeah. He was probably one of the best hitters down the stretch, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. I think that both teams got too many question marks, Mets and Yankees. Mets, me and Rich agree that starting is going to be the problem. And but I'll also say closer. I'm not really excited about Devin Williams. I know you guys
I'm not 100% sold on the bullpen either, but I think the starting pitching is more of a question mark, especially the back half of the rotation.
But that's the plan right now. Is Weaver going to be the 8th inning guy?
No.
Yeah,
No, Weaver's not going to be set up, right?
I'm not sure because Because Williams, he's only a 1 inning guy. He was very adamant about that, only 1 inning, and the only time he did 2 was in the playoffs when, everybody's.
Against the Mets, yeah. Right. Yeah, when he gave the home run to Alonso.
Yep.
But he hasn't been the same since, so it's like a psyche thing. Hopefully,
nobody can tell
Well, he bounced around a little bit last year. He struggled.
Or maybe he's the guy who can't play in New York.
What was his ERA on the Yankees? Like 4 and change, right?
I don't remember the exact amount, but it wasn't like a full season. It wasn't that great, but there were stretches where he was really
4.86.
And Weaver too. Weaver's ERA was pretty high too. For a bullpen guy,
you got that short porch,
your headaches now.
Yeah, thanks. Those are the guys we didn't want. At least as a Met fan.
That's not a want him either, but.
As soon as you see those guys coming across the bridge, I was like, all right.
Yeah, and Weaver even brought his Yankee bag with him, and I think he started something. Did you see Marcus Cinnamon, his first day, walking into camp with a Rangers bag?
Oh,
and they got someone from the Red Sox, I forget his name, same thing, and some guy from the Pirates. Weird. So look at what Weaver started. He might, if all 4 of those guys do bad, Weaver's going to get his ass booed like crazy just for that.
Yeah, I guess but so what would you say? One last thing, Rich. What would you say? Obviously, besides starters, who would you get out there? There's not that many free agents left out there. What position or bullpen starter? Who would you go after? Anybody else out there?
I don't have anybody in mind right now. I don't think there's anything of quality that's available. I think this is the team they're going to go to spring training with, and they're going to see what rises to the top and what doesn't make it. Maybe a last-minute small move, probably pitching or outfield, corner spot. But this is the team,
One guy I wish they would have brought back was Canning, but he already signed with the Padres.
Yeah.
We got 2 questions.
Okay, to answer your guys' question, Weaver's ERA was 3.9. Was it 6.8? Not too bad, but Williams was 4.79. So
but that was first half, wasn't it? Didn't he pitch better in the second half?
Yeah, he did.
No, he did. But I think it's a New York thing. I don't know what it is. Every time they come to the Yankees, some people just don't have. When they come to the Yankees, they don't have the stuff for it. I don't know. Maybe it's the big city, but as Rich pointed out before, the lifestyle, the culture, even like the politics, whatever it is. I'll be honest with you, I moved out of New York. New York is not a place where you want to bring up a family. I'm sorry to say, not to knock it, but I know Ed Sage is still there in New York, in Brooklyn. But New York is not a place where people are attracted to come and play, So that's why people go to, say, L.A. and other like Midwestern towns and stuff where it's more rural, family-oriented. Taxes, people would rather play like in Texas or Florida. You don't pay too many you don't pay any state taxes. So New York, they kind of, they rape you with taxes and stuff. And it's not a place where, quote unquote, is very friendly. I beg to differ. A lot of good New Yorkers out there, but as far as playing there in sports, it's tough.
I got one for Rick and for Ed. So what's going to happen with your rotation if you're like, say, midway through spring training and you need another starter? Well, 2 questions I got. So do you take a flyer on Scherzer? If he's still out there right now? I'm just thinking who else is out there. And then how long, if the Mets start off 11-19, 11-20, they're 5 or 6 games out, how quickly Mendoza, the last year of his contract, does Cohen erupt? Does he make a move or does he keep him for the whole year?
I think he gives him maybe till the All-Star break. What do you think, Rich? I think that unless they fall behind early in the season, I can see maybe you're talking about maybe like 7 to 10 games back. I would pretty much. I don't even know how the Mets. I don't know why the Mets brought him back this year. To be honest,
they like him. I say the team has to collapse in order for him to not make it through the season.
Yeah,
Stearns hired him too. He's a Stearns guy. Stearns did hire him.
But the whole Mets staff, right, Rich? The whole staff.
They got rid of the whole staff except for him. So maybe that was another thing. He came in as a rookie manager and maybe didn't have that much input as to who his coaches were going to be. With last year's debacle, they cleaned house.
Yanks did that with Boone, too, after 2021. They let go of a lot of his coaches. They got rid of Phil Nevin. Him and Boone were really, really tight. And there was even speculation that Boone was very hesitant to even want to come back because he felt like he was stabbing Nevin in the back, because those are tough conversations you have to have with the manager where they say, look, you can come back, but we don't want this guy back or that guy back. And it's, it's tough.
I think the Mets, with the way the team's set up, even going back to last year, I think, Mendoza's a great baseball mind, great baseball guy, but I just think that maybe he needed, he did have a good veteran bench coach last year, right, Rich?
Yeah, Gibbons.
Yeah.
The guy's the first base coach. I think the Mets, not known for their speed, and they had the best stolen base percentage, and I think the first base coach had a lot to do with that.
Do you know where he is?
Watching the pitches and when to run.
But you know where he is now? He's in Atlanta.
Yeah. Oh, he is in Atlanta.
So is Hefner, by the way.
Yeah, both of them.
His pitching lab.
Hefner reversed. When he's talked about when they tried to interview Hefner about the Mets, he's like, "Oh, that other team over there."
Oh, that's right. That's right. He's very upset.
Chaos that's going on in that clubhouse.
Yep.
Yeah, he did say that other team.
And even Soto said today.
I don't read too much into that. Sour grapes. It is what it is.
They asked Soto today about last year. He's like, last year was last year, and they said to him, "Well, what about where Mendoza said it was too corporate and too business like?" He's like, "That's in the past," so he wouldn't really address it. So it says him and Lindor are fine. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying Soto's.
So. They're gonna try and keep things underneath the rug. Behind closed doors. I think there's a major. Did you hear about what happened yesterday with Bryce Harper?
He made some comment about Dombrowski. He's like, that was I didn't read it yet, but he said that was a wild comment. He wore a T-shirt that said "not elite."
Yeah, because he did state, according to reports, Dombrowski told reporters that he doesn't consider
not
elite.
Right after the season. Yup. Is he trying to motivate him to do better, or is he looking to get out of that contract? Because Dombrowski is not the kind of guy to give that. He'll give long-term contracts, but he won't give 13-year-long contracts. You look at his history with being with the Red Sox and with the Tigers, even the Marlins, when he built them up from scratch. He never gave really long-term contracts. Now he comes into a Phillies job. They're a team win now, but the one player, Harper, he's there for 6 more years.
Yeah.
So maybe he's like, okay, look, maybe I could try to maybe stir up a little something, maybe plant the seeds where maybe make a trade in the future. I'm not saying right now, but maybe at the All-Star break, maybe at the end of the year, who knows? Because the Phillies window is closing. So that's why this division could be up for grabs. It really could. I don't think there's a clear-cut favorite in that division.
I tell you one team, my sleeper pick, I'm a Met fan, but, obviously I believe every Met fan wants to believe they're going to win.
Right.
My sleeper team is Atlanta Braves.
They're not going to be as bad as last year. Right.
Everybody was hurt. Olsen was hurt a little bit.
The Pirates made a couple of moves too.
Who?
Yeah, Pirates did.
Yeah.
So, Rich, what did they make? What moves did they make?
Who?
You said the Pirates? You said the Pirates made
I know they made a couple of trades.
I forget who, but they made.
The Pirates. Oh, yeah.
Oh, Padres. Okay.
The Padres too. The Padres just got Castellanos.
Yeah, but
I don't think
he brought a 6-pack. He brought a 6-pack with him, so they like him already. So
yeah. You know what? You heard what happened to him in the dugout, right?
Yes. No. He got removed from a game in Miami. He's got friends and family from there, so he goes to the clubhouse.
He's alcoholic?
I've never heard any reports about it. A lot of his stuff is kept in the house.
And then the teammates looked at him on the bench. He was about to have a drink, and they told the manager pulled him out of the game. But I'd say the Phillies are not as strong as last year.
Wheeler's not even ready yet.
Who?
Zach Wheeler. He had surgery, and he had not the thoracic outlet one, but something similar to it, I think. It's something with the shoulder. So he's not ready yet. Yeah, he won't be ready maybe till May.
Yeah. And who's your number 2? Ranger Suarez is gone.
That's right. Yeah.
I think the East is up for grabs.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Most definitely.
I'd say so, Rich, you don't believe the Braves are going to be strong this year?
Not necessarily. They listen. They may surprise me. Maybe they transplant the Phillies. Maybe we're chasing the Braves or duking it out with them. Back during the season.
What was his starter name again? I forgot his name off the top of my head. The starting ace on the Braves.
I know who you're talking about.
He blew out. He got hurt last year. He missed most of the part of the season last year, so that was a big loss for the Braves, huh?
For the Braves?
Yeah,
for the Braves. Missed last year.
What's the guy that came back? Oh my God! It starts with an S.
I can't think.
Spencer Strider. Spencer Strider. But he came back, but he was like mediocre last year because he was coming back from Tommy John surgery.
Which guy?
Spencer Strider.
Oh yeah, he was coming off Tommy John.
But then they had another guy who had surgery last year, and now he's going to be Scott Schoenweiss or Scott something. It's another pitcher's initials are SS. It's
Schoenweiss.
Schoenweiss, yeah. And he's going to be slowed now going into
you got his name, you're right.
I guess everybody has question marks going to the new year, but I was just thinking.
Well, at the end, I think it's still Dodgers. I think it's still going to be the Dodgers. I mean, they spend a lot of money. They got great players. Unfortunately, it's always going to be them. But remember, Ed, when we were younger, we used to have this, not to get away from the Major League Baseball, talk about us young kids, but we had a sponge ball baseball team. We used to travel to different neighborhoods in Brooklyn. We used to play them. Of course, there's no umpire, but we used to be like honor system, calling balls and strikes. So we were the Brooklyn Dodgers because it was Brooklyn. He was a Met fan. We half were Yankee fans, half were Met fans. So, okay, let's pick another team. Let's pick the Dodgers. They used to be from Brooklyn. And a friend of mine, he was kind of a young artist. He put the letter B on our light blue hats. So he made the logos for us. And we went around the whole thing. And we made baseball cards of us too. Put our pictures in it. It was like, this kid was really talented, man. It was good. Growing up, our age, even Rich, our age growing up, it was different from what people do this year now. I mean, you're in the 40s and your 50s. You grew up a lot better than the kids do today. We were never going. There's Atari. There was in television. You go out on the streets. You play ball. You play basketball. You play baseball. You play anything. Soccer really wasn't big. We might have played 1 or 2 games with kids or with people who are from like Mexico or something. But soccer wasn't big in the States and Brooklyn. But baseball, we used to go around playing other neighborhoods. Tackle football, we used to get our helmets, and this guy used to draw. We were the Flames. He used to draw the word Flames on each of our helmets. It was amazing. Yeah. It was sick. It's funny thinking about it now, but back then our childhood was great with sports. And my son, Eddie and I, we used to like grow up wanting to be like sports podcasters. That's why we're doing this little podcast here, just to maybe touch upon like a once upon a time dream or to have a hobby at this later age in life, But we were kids. We were like Dodger fans. That would be our second team because they used to be from Brooklyn. But now, of course, we don't like them. Grown up, we hate every team but your team. I used to hate the Mets because my brother Eddie and my brother Steve were Met fans, and Maurice. I got 3 brothers. They were all Met fans, and I was the only Yankee fan, So it was kind of hard as the oldest being the Yankee fan. Of course, they want to go against you. But what do you guys think about the World Baseball Classics? I already know Yankee Joe hates it, but what do you guys think about? Do you think it's a good thing bringing international players to light, or do you think it's more of a detrimental, like a loss for MLB because of the injuries and the longer they're playing an extra month of baseball, and baseball itself is already too long? So I'm going to throw it around. So I know we'll go with Yankee Joe because you have a strong opinion about this. You hate it, right?
I hate the timing of it because right now you're getting into baseball shape. You're not at mid-season shape yet. And by the middle of March, end of March, that's when the final are. And every game is like a World Series game. You have to be in World Series shape. You have to be ready as if it's October. And instead of like 10,000 people at a spring training game, there are going to be games at Major League ballparks where there's going to be, it's going to be sold out. The atmosphere is going to be championship level. And of course, you're going to feel more hyped up. And you're, of course, playing for your country, which is totally fine. I have nothing against that. And even though I'm worried about the injuries could happen anywhere, anytime. But I say have it at the end of the season because as far as I'm concerned, there can never be too much baseball. So I'm totally fine with as soon as the World Series is over, have it then because the teams that were in the playoffs, even if you were eliminated in the first round, your body is still in shape. The teams that got eliminated, they're still in shape. They work out all year long. So you're in more shape, I think. Even if your season ends September 29th and you don't play again until, say, November 1st, a couple of days after the World Series ends, you're still in shape. You're in better shape November 1st after last playing September 30th than you are March 1st when you report and start training for the baseball classic versus not playing, since the end of October. You're in better shape then. You play them all in a warm weather city, or country, state, stadiums, which you already do. Do it then. Right. Don't do it now.
You're right on that. What do you guys, Rich, what do you think about it?
Listen, I don't necessarily like it. It's good for the sport worldwide.
It's
good exposure for Major League Baseball. Timing-wise, there's pros and cons to doing it at the end of the season. Guys, free agency, guys who are going to be leaving teams, so a team gets eliminated, his contract's up. Those guys, they don't want to be out there risking anything when they're looking for a new contract or a new team.
Wow.
Yeah.
You guys are concerned about, And you guys are making great points. That you're not in game shape in March, but you're also banged up from a full season at the end of the season. A lot of these guys play through the season and need surgery after the season. We don't know about how many sprains, and fractures they play through and have it done as soon as the season ends. So, timing-wise,
Well, you guys, you both make good. Go ahead.
But at the end of the season, Richie, when you say that after the season's over, you're talking about a pitcher maybe 115, 120, 130 innings, and then he's going to pitch in the Classic. His arm will fall off.
Well, they got restrictions. I mean, they will do something. And Rich, to your point
there's restrictions.
Injuries. There's restrictions now, so there would be restrictions at the end of the year. Like when the team season ends, regardless if it's regular season or playoffs, every player will have a physical, and then the teams can say, "Look, you're injured, you can't play." So I'm sure that'll be taken into account. But I see your point too, because there could be players that hide injuries. Could be players that say they're fine and they're not. Yeah. So in that case, is there ever a good time for it?
Well, and the second point I made
is go either way.
Guys who are at the end of a contract. You don't want to risk injury. When you're looking, shopping yourself out there, trying to get hooked up with another team for a big contract.
Pitchers have innings limits. I think they have 2 innings.
Like you said, you have rules.
Yeah, but
you have rules on there. Like you said, limit the innings, limit playing time, and have certain people ineligible to play in the league.
I guess you
what about like the NHL and doing it in the middle of the season?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, right. They're doing now.
But even that's risky. Didn't a player for, I forget, was it Pittsburgh? They were playing in the Olympics the other day, and they got slammed on the boards real bad. They had to be taken off, by ambulance to right on the ice. He's done for the year. So that's a bad time too.
Diaz we missed the whole season of Diaz, so.
Yeah.
But look at Diaz's injury. All he did was jump up in the air, and after the game was over, then he got hurt. Remember?
Yep.
That's like Singer,
Right. Oh yeah, he ran the first base, right?
And that got Buck fired. That's a shame. That got Buck fired.
Oh yeah, you're right. But you know what? I didn't like Buck.
It's like a catch-20. Catch-22 here. It's a catch-22 here. Like you guys making great points on both sides.
And I wouldn't want to the best players say after the World Series is over. It's like the Pro Bowl when they do it. The teams that are in the Super Bowl, those players can't participate in the Pro Bowl. You got some of the best players in the league not being showcased.
Yeah, but they switched it over to flag football now. The Pro Bowl in football is flag football. They don't even.
I don't even watch it.
The only.
I don't watch.
Like say All-Star game, I take seriously, or the team takes seriously. Is Major League Baseball,
like football league?
The NBA. I mean, that's just fun and games. They're not doing it seriously to win.
Is that tonight, by the way?
Well, hockey plays serious when they play the All-Star game. Hockey. NHL, the NHL.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a Rangers fan, so I mean, the hockey season is over. So.
Yeah, it's been over, right?
They're picking up where the Jets left off, basically. Yeah. Rangers are picking right up where the Jets left off.
Pretty much.
I mean, I'm a Giants fan, but still,
Me too, Giants.
But it was embarrassing.
I'm excited about the Giants next year, but maybe next podcast we'll talk about the Giants.
I hope so. I mean, Harbaugh, he's pretty tough, and he's a proven winner.
Next spot, Ted, yeah. Well, we'll save that for next podcast when it comes to the NFL and stuff. Football season's pretty much over. Actually, the UFL is going to be starting soon. Maybe we'll talk about spring football in the future. But
which one do you?
Yeah, the World Baseball Classic is tough. You make great points. Injuries. Go ahead.
Not to say any predictions, but let's go around the clock. We'll see. Who do you got favored? I know it's early and baseball didn't start yet, but what do you think the Mets finish, Rich?
Yeah, I think they're going to be a second place team again.
Me too. I agree. What about you guys in the Yankees?
I'm going to go...
I say Yankees wild card again, and...
First wild card.
What happened?
First wild card.
Who do you think wins the division? You think you like the Blue Jays or the
Blue Jays?
Red Sox?
I think the Blue Jays, I think they only got better. I mean, they got the guy from Japan. They got
Blue Jays again. They win the division.
They're the champion until they're knocked off. If we can knock them off, great. But
you're right. Yankees haven't done anything for them.
And then once the play, are we doing playoff predictions too, or right now just end of the season? Well, it's probably too soon for end of season, right? Because everything can change.
You know, we think our team.
I mean, you can always have an opinion. So
yeah, Mets and Yankees. We both obviously we all agree that
I think it's your odds on or Yankees Dodgers.
I
hope so.
Prediction.
I don't know. I can't be honest with you.
But that's why it would be premium for us to win the division, because then we rested that first round, because that's probably what killed us. You know, Boston took a lot out of us. We probably didn't even deserve to win that series. If Duran doesn't drop that fly ball in left field in the sixth inning, we lose that. And who knows, maybe Boone gets fired after that, because he said after that series, that was the toughest one he ever did, and the most stress. He was hearing it. I'm sure he was hearing it. So you could say we were lucky to get past the Red Sox. And then with the Blue Jays, I mean, if we win the division, we're off that week, and then Fried and Rodon start games 1 and 2 at home against Toronto or Boston versus having to go on the road with Heel and Fried. That's what hurt us.
What would you say about this? The Blue Jays, you mentioned the Blue Jays might be a little stronger this year, right? You said?
Yeah, at the moment I think so.
Yeah, but you know what? You're counting on Barge and Clement having an identical year what they just had, monster years and rookie years. They're expecting more out of them. And you're replacing Bichette, he's down on the Mets. You're replacing him with the Japanese shortstop, which he's not a great hitter. So,
you know what? A part of me is also taking into consideration every year we seem to have a swoon in June for about 6 weeks. And the last 2 years, I said I was bad luck because the schedules were almost the same. We stumbled in Kansas City, then we went to Fenway. Both years I went to the games in Fenway, and that was the beginning of the long 6 week stretch where we lost like crazy. So I take responsibility for going up to Boston and being part of that. But a part of me thinks the Blue Jays could win the division just for that we'll have a long 6 week stretch where we'll just stumble again. And the Blue Jays will take advantage of it.
Yeah, I agree with that. Probably Blue Jays, Dodgers.
No, you guys are sleeping on the Red Sox. They got a strong rotation.
They do. Yeah, they could too.
Look at their starting rotation. Then what do you get? They just got Sonny Gray. He's not going to.
Yeah, well.
Listen,
you got Suarez, Ranger Suarez.
Yeah, Sonny Gray is number 2.
Right. And Chapman still looks good. They showed him throwing. He's already sounds like he's hitting 100, 101. I mean, he's a freak. He
was lights out last year. The only thing is, I just think the Red Sox should have got a big bat. But I look at it this way: all the Red Sox fans are kind of disappointed that the Red Sox didn't re-sign Bregman. But if you look what they traded for, Contreras, right? He's now the first baseman in the Red Sox. He has better stats, getting, I believe, 15, 20 million a year, opposed to Bregman getting now 36 million. Bregman had 26 homers, Contreras had 28, and Contreras had a better on-base percentage and a bit of batting average.
And you know what? Anthony Roman's coming back. Remember, he got hurt, I believe, September. He was a real good spark plug for them, and now they have him back. So you add him to that lineup all year.
What about the rookie? That kid's a phenomenon. That kid, rookie, Anthony. Right, his name's Anthony.
Yeah, Roman Anthony. Yeah.
He's deadly. You can tell. Great.
Have him for the whole year. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Central.
I mean, nobody's counting them out, but
Yeah, but all right. Anything else, guys?
What about Rich? What do you think about National League? Rich, National League, what do you think?
Hey, it's the Dodgers until somebody takes them out. I think, like I said, we talked earlier, the East is National League East is going to be much tighter. I don't think the Phillies are going to be as good as they were last year. I think the Braves are going to be a better team. And, there's something about those Marlins.
Yeah.
That'll be a spoiler. That'll be a spoiler for sure.
How many times in the last day of the season have they knocked the Mets out of the playoffs? 3?
Didn't he do that? They did that in what? 2007?
07 and 08.
I think, Rick, you and I went to a last game of the season where we were late with traffic and Glavine gave up like 6 runs in the first inning to the Marlins. The Mets got knocked out.
All we needed was Glavine to pitch.
I know.
Oh, I remember that game like it was yesterday. Glavine, all he had to do was pitch it, somewhat of his old self.
Yep.
He got, as soon as the first inning started, it was 6-0.
We could hear the roaring in the parking lot, and it wasn't a good roar. And I was like, "This should be good."
Did you turn around right then and there, or did you watch the?
No, we went in and to find out we were 6 runs down. I was like, "Ooh."
I'm sure he had a good seat then. I'm sure fans are really starting to leave.
You knew it was over.
No, I stay. When I go, I stay. I don't care how bad we might be losing.
I stay.
No, I'm not saying you leave, but you knew it was over, especially as a Met fan.
I went to game 3? Yeah, game 3 against Toronto. And we were down 6-1. I'm like, man, I wasn't going to leave. That was never going to happen. But I just moved around. I just snuck around, got a better seat, and that's when the comeback began. So, and right then and there, I bought a ticket for game 4 because when we were down 6-1, tickets started dropping like crazy.
Oh, wow.
I got a ticket for like $50. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to game 4 if there was one. So,
all right.
Actually, I got one more thing. If the Tigers are struggling at the deadline, who's going to get Skubal? And how much do you give up for him?
All right, ready for this? The team that gets everybody, the Dodgers. The Dodgers.
Here's the thing. Listen, they're going to be the highest payroll in baseball. How do they re-sign them?
Well, you know how? Oh, you mean the Tigers?
I mean, if say the Dodgers,
if they have to,
how are they going to re-sign them?
Oh, it's easy. You know how? It's very easy how you're going to do it. They're going to defer the money like they do with everybody else.
Yep. Defer it, or they'll make little minor changes. They'll get rid of maybe Teoscar Hernandez.
The D is not for Dodgers. The D is for deferral.
Yeah, well, Teoscar Hernandez is a free agent after this year. They got a lot of guys coming off the books. Yep. And look at it this way. The Dodgers have the most prospects to give up. The Mets do as well. The Mets have a whole bunch. I say it's between the Mets and Dodgers.
And the Dodgers are going to want to go for 3, 4, who knows, 5 in a row. So they'll keep Betts. They'll keep Freeman. Even if they pay for it in the back end, or say by year 6, then maybe they struggle. They could still say, hey, we won 3, 4 in a row, and it was worth it.
Wait, let me ask you guys a question.
Didn't Verlander go back to the Tigers? And didn't they sign somebody?
Verlander and
Valdez. Valdez.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. From Valdez.
Yeah, yep. But here's a question for you guys. Here's a question. The Tigers are in the playoff hunt. The trade deadline's coming. Do you trade Skubal? Well, you keep him and lose him.
They're in and you keep him, and you pray that you win, and then you get on your rear end and you say, we are so sorry, we'll give you what you want.
Yeah, they should pay him. They got the money. They got the Caesar. Caesar Pizza's the owner, so they got the money.
Exactly, he could afford it.
Well, people always think it's like the grass is greener, and on the other side, everyone just like Diaz went to the Dodgers. He wasn't going to stay with the Mets. You're going to see a lot of teams like New York is not but it's not an attractive enough place to be. So place to go now, and people want to jump ship and go to Dodgers.
Well, don't you know that the Tigers lost, right? The playoffs against the Mariners, right? They lost to the Mariners.
Cleveland. Huh? Cleveland, right? No, Mariners. And guess what?
Mariners.
Guess who lost the game to them?
Skubal. Yeah, he came out in the 6th inning, yeah.
Who did he give the home run to? Polanco. There you go.
Nice little symmetry there, yeah.
Yeah, that's a silver lining for you. That's it.
Well, that's just like Devin Williams giving up a home run to Alonso, So.
Well, you know what? Every Met fan's going to refer to that. Say, oh, we got Polanco. Oh, yeah, he's the guy that hit the home run off Skubal.
Yeah.
Right? That's what the Met fans say.
Did Bichette hit off of, was it Ohtani?
Huh?
Did Bichette hit off Ohtani?
Yep.
Bichette, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much
Yep.
And you know,
Yeah, he
Bichette
did, yeah.
was playing on one leg, right? You know, Bichette was playing on one leg.
Yes.
Yes.
I was at that game. It was at Yankee Stadium. It was right before it rained delay. It started raining.
No, he's talking about the Dodgers.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. When you had mentioned Bichette with his leg, though, and he said playing on one leg.
No, but he came back from an injury.
Right, and I was at the game when he got hurt. I'm sorry. I was
Oh,
referring to
yeah.
that.
When he came back on injury for the World Series, his knee was still bothering him. He couldn't even
Yes.
run the bases. So that was a nice home run. So, yeah. So we got two guys, Rich.
We'll see.
I'll be a nice team picture. Williams, Polanco, and Bichette.
Yeah, right?
Well, we're gonna go on all day with this, but you know, like you said, you make a couple acquisitions. We don't know how. I don't think there's any more really to talk about. You can go on and on and on, but
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. We'll talk in the next podcast about where the Yankees and Mets are at when the season starts. You know, so I'd like to thank everybody here. You know, Yankee Joe, thanks for coming on. Ed
Thanks.
Sage, always a pleasure. And my friend Rich Pick, good seeing you again. And thanks for coming on.
Rich,
I
Mets.
appreciate all you guys coming on to this podcast. Let's go
pleasure.
Yankees.
Thank
Let's go
you.
Mets. Let's have another Subway Series. I doubt it very much. But
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. All right?
Yep.
All right. Another edition of SMB Podcast Spring News Bulletin. This is a Major League MLB edition. We're talking New York sports teams, Yankees and Mets. Subscribe, hit that like button, and catch us on the next one. All right? Thank you, guys. Good day, guys.
Thank you.